So I don't have many questions for you, but the first one I have is David Chapin and David Wallace. Hold on a second. I interviewed them. So they contacted you about a public relations campaign to combat congestion on Camden Yards opening day. Um, what did you, or let me try. What did they want you to basically accomplish for them?
Well, we had to make people feel the strategy or the goal rather, the goal, not the strategy. The goal was to make people feel like it was very easy to come to Camden Yards, that there were no inhibitors, And at the time, and you can ask the guys for the real numbers, or have you spoken to Jana Marie Smith?
I have not.
Do you know who she is?
Yeah, she was one of the major architects for Camden Yards. She's one of the reasons why the warehouse is still there.
She's the reason.
Hmm.
I mean, she was not one of the, she was the overall principal for the site design and then um, for anything that's happened to the physical plant since then. But anyway, so I think at the time we opened Camden Yards, that about 30, a little over 30% of our season ticket holders came from the South, from Montgomery County and Prince George's County, but a lot from Montgomery County. And so it was very important that those people who did not regularly come to Baltimore feel comfortable and that it was easy. And then we needed everybody from the North to feel it was easy. So, we cared a great deal about people's impressions of the experience. And so that's why I mean, it was smart of them to ask us, we do a lot of other stuff too, but it was smart to have a PR transportation program. So we did, it was ubiquitous. It was it was a lot of fun, but it was very comprehensive. So for example, you want me to give you examples?
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, so Earl Weaver was the manager at the time, and he was very famous, sort of an irascible guy, who was, a sports legend. And we wanted people in Washington to realize that they could take the train to Baltimore, the Camden line, and go right to the station. So you could go from Union Station to Camden Station, get off the train, and there you were right in the ballpark. And so we did, a mock run. We had Earl Weaver and his wife on the train and Oriole Stars and went into Union Station and did a whole thing there and then got back on the train and invited people to come with us. This is prior to the opening. But all of it meant to get TV coverage and print coverage of how easy it was to get to Camden Yards if you lived in the Washington area. And then we had materials available, some of which were unusual everywhere where people were. We wanted them to be confronted with something that said, Camden Yards is going to be fabulous and you can't wait to get there and it's easy to get there. So for example, I don't know if you've ever seen these actually, because you're young and everything's digital now, but in every post office in Maryland, we had maps that were tear-off maps that showed you how to get to Camden Yards. If you're coming from the north, if you're coming from the south, what have you.
My second question is, what type of media did you use for the public relations campaign?
Well, there was no digital then.
Yeah.
Right? So we used TV, radio, and legacy media, but then we used sort of innovative stuff like the maps that you could tear off a map if you're at the post office and take it home with you, and it showed you how to come easily to Camden Yards and where the parking lots were.
So basically, when did you start campaigning?
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that. I mean, I'm guessing probably 6 months in advance.
So probably like October 91.
You know what? I honestly don't know.
Yeah. That's okay though. But I assume just at least not exactly on opening day. You were definitely campaigning before that.
Oh, no, 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 no. This was a whole setup. Yeah, because we also had to educate the media. And then the media became the messenger to the public. So they needed to feel comfortable and confident in all of the information that we were giving out because they were going to be the ones who shared it with the public.
Was there a slogan, a catchphrase, or a jingle?
I don't think so. No, I know there was no jingle.
I'm trying to think of what a jingle would be like.
Oh, you don't know what a jingle is?
No, I know what a jingle is, but I'm just trying to think of like one going to Camden Yards would be like.
Um, I mean, a good jingle writer probably could have written a good jingle about it, but no, I don't think we had a jingle. I could be wrong, but I don't remember a jingle.
Do you think the campaign was effective?
No, it was fabulous. Yeah. I mean, it was enormously effective. We had no problems opening day
Could you go into more detail on that? Like, why was it effective in your opinion?
because I think because the outreach was so ubiquitous that because we used so many platforms, this was way before digital media, but we weren't just using legacy media. We weren't just using television and newspapers and radios, but we were everywhere. We had brochures, we had maps, we had people on street corners. We used every tool in a PR toolbox to educate the public and give them confidence. There was, there was some, I don't think it was branded, but there was some signage that really spoke to it. And I think we had flags with that signage outside of all of the parking lots that were, within easy reach of Camden Yards. Because people were not, at that point in time, for example, the lots on Utah Street were not used by a lot of people unless they, worked in the area or gone to the hospital. So we had to educate people to the fact that there was a lot of parking available in downtown Baltimore that was close to the stadium.
And this is my final question. I assume the answer is probably no, but do you have like anything on you right now from the campaign, like maybe a photo or like a
I,
radio?
I thought about trying to get in touch with the guy who worked for me at the time who did this.
Hmm.
Um, I'll see if I can find him. I'm not sure that I can.
It's okay if you can't.
So remind me what you're using this for.
So we're doing a project on Camden Yards. It's supposed to be sort of a website, and it's gonna come out in March or April of 2026 before the next opening day for the Orioles. And yeah, I'm working on it right now.
And so how did you decide to do this?
So Mark Hyman and Sandy Beniski, both of them are my editors, and they chose the project before we all agreed to do it. And I was assigned basically what the Camden Yard site was like before. So that include before Oriole Park was built there. So that includes what buildings were there, what transportation was there, how did they get people into the stadium, all that.
I mean, it's so for somebody like yourself who's, were you born then?
No, I was born about a decade later in June 2002.
Exactly. So, just think of it. It was a whole new site. I mean, it was not only a great ballpark, which everybody didn't know yet, but it was an area that they didn't necessarily know how to get to. So everything about it was new and unique, from the design to the location to all the great things I mean, Jana Marie really is the mother of all this.